Hey everyone, I'm Lugo, and if you've ever dreamed of turning your passion for design into a career, you're in the right place. On this channel, I'll show you how to master architectural and vehicle modeling from scratch, taking you from beginner to pro level. Imagine creating stunning 3D models that could land you freelance gigs or even your dream job. Ready to level up your skills and unlock new opportunities? Let's dive in. Hey guys, let me tell you what happened while working on this project. I was reviewing the window heights on the upper floor, like I showed you in the last update, when suddenly, bam, I realized something was off. Here's the important detail. When I compared these measurements with the elevation views we had as reference, they were completely different. I swear for a second, I thought I was seeing things. But no, it was real. The upper floor windows didn't align height-wise with what the elevation showed. So what did I do? Well, as any 3D modeler who needs to get the job done, I manually adjusted them to make everything coherent. But here's the key takeaway. This happened because we're working with plans downloaded from Monster House plans, which, as I've mentioned in other videos, are just inspirational references. They're not actual technical documents for a real construction project. And this is crucial to understand. For those starting in architectural modeling, when you work with online plans, especially from sites like these, measurements are rarely exact. There are discrepancies between floor plans, sections, and elevations. Why? Because many are conceptual designs, not construction documents. Now, let's consider the opposite scenario. If you're an architect or designer or working with a professional who provided full technical documentation, these problems shouldn't happen. A proper set of real architectural drawings needs to be perfectly coordinated. Heights and floor plans, dimensions and elevations, details and sections. Everything should match down to the millimeter. If it doesn't, there's a serious documentation issue. I'll ask the pros watching, how many times have you received a model for render with these kind of errors? Drop it in the comments, because this is more common than you'd think. In my case, like I said, since these are reference plans, I had to make on-the-fly design decisions. Reviewed standard architectural proportions, compared with interior space scales, adjusted while maintaining constructive logic. Here's a valuable tip. When information isn't clear, always default to construction standards. For example, parapet heights, usually 1M, 1.20M, Window heights, 2.10 m, 2.40 m from floor. Consistency between levels. But heads up, what I did was a practical modeling solution. On a real client project, you should never guess measurements. Always review complete documentation. Coordinate with the architect or engineer. Request missing information. For the students watching, this right here is golden knowledge. School doesn't teach you these real-world problems when working with online references. Assume there'll be inconsistencies. Document all your adjustments. Maintain logical proportions. Any horror stories out there? Like staircases not matching between floors? Share your battles in the comments. To wrap this up, my adjustments were necessary because we use conceptual plans. On real projects, demand coordinated documentation. When in doubt, use professional standards. Is the extra effort worth it? Absolutely, because in the end, this is what a properly executed project looks like. Hey, you probably noticed this video is sped up from the original recording speed. I do this intentionally to keep these tutorial sessions engaging and avoid long, boring stretches of modeling. Let's be real. Nobody wants to watch 30 minutes of uninterrupted wall extrusion, right? Here's my pro tip. If you're following along step by step, just hit pause whenever you need to. Take advantage of YouTube's playback controls. Spacebar to pause instantly. Comma and period keys to move frame by frame. 0.75x speed if you need more detail. Big heads up about Blender 4.4's important change. The update removed the blue color for positive faces and now only shows red for negative faces. Why is this a game changer? Because now we can keep face orientation display permanently enabled, spot normal errors immediately while modeling. The bright red is way more visible than the previous blue. Architectural modeling pro tip. With this improvement, I recommend always keeping overlays, face orientation turned on. This helps avoid nasty surprises when exporting or rendering. How many times have you applied a material only to see weird shading from flipped normals? Super frustrating. For those coming from older versions, don't look for the blue color. It's gone. Now it's dark gray / neutral equals correct faces. Blood red equals warning. Inverted normals. Question for the community. What other Blender 4.4 features are saving your workflow? Drop your favorites in the comments. Back to our modeling. As you can see, this visualization upgrade plus the streamlined editing lets us focus on what matters, creating precise models without wasting time. Check this out. Right now we're modeling the drop ceiling for the upper floor. This is one of those pro architectural tricks that solves multiple problems at once. Why install a drop ceiling here? Well, it's covering all the imperfections and uneven heights of the actual ceiling. But heads up, this is completely a design choice that depends on the style we want for the house. Let me break it down. In some designs, you might want to expose those beautiful wooden beams, that cozy cabin-style look where the ceiling becomes part of the decor. But in this case, according to the Monster House Plan's reference images we're using, they opted for a clean, modern drop ceiling. What's smart about this approach? Gives us perfectly uniform ceiling heights, creates space for recessed lighting, which we'll add later, hides all the structural mess like ducts and wiring. Important design tip. This isn't just about copying the reference, it's understanding why they chose this. In modern interiors, drop ceilings help. Give spaces a more polished look. Allow for better light distribution. Achieve that sleek minimalist style. For those model your own projects, when deciding between exposed or drop ceilings, consider the architectural style you're going for. Ceiling height. Drop ceilings reduce it by about 6 inches, whether you need to hide installations. Quick question for you guys. In your projects, do you prefer the character of exposed ceilings or the clean look of drop ceilings? Tell me in the comments. Now I'm continuing to model the ceiling plane at about 9 feet from the floor. That ideal height that feels spacious yet cozy. The key is keeping it perfectly level while following the wall outlines. Pro tip. Always check your ceiling height against door and window frames. Nothing worse than finishing a model only to realize the ceiling clashes with the window headers. And there we have it. We've completed the base modeling of the entire house. Now comes the truly exciting part of the process. In our next video, we'll dive into exterior finishes and detailed window modeling, where the home will really start developing its character. If you're enjoying this tutorial series, I'd really appreciate your support with a like. Every thumbs up helps these videos reach more professionals like you. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments about which aspects you're finding most helpful or what you'd like to see in future videos. Feel free to share this content with colleagues who might benefit from these tutorials. Together we can build a great learning community. Remember, your engagement helps YouTube recommend these videos to more architects and designers. For our next session, get ready to work with realistic textures, advanced modeling techniques, and optimized workflows. Do you have any specific requests about finishes or architectural details? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next video where we'll transform this basic model into a complete, detailed architectural project. Until then,